The drama surrounding this moment in Raider Nation feels heavier than just another quarterback change. It feels like the release of months of frustration, confusion, and suppressed hope all colliding at once. Geno Smith being sidelined against the Eagles is not just an injury update. It is the moment fans have been quietly waiting for, even if they were afraid to say it out loud. This is the crack in the door. This is the opening. And through it steps Kenny Pickett, finally given the chance to show what he is in silver and black. For much of this season, Raider Nation has been boiling over. The frustration with Geno has not been subtle. It has been loud, emotional, and deeply personal. The inconsistent play, the stalled drives, the lack of rhythm, the moments where the offense felt lifeless. Then came the off-field moments that only widened the gap between quarterback and fanbase. Gestures that felt disrespectful. A growing sense that the quarterback was done with the fans just as much as the fans were done with him. When that kind of disconnect happens, it becomes impossible to ignore. And now, with Geno unlikely to go, the Raiders are forced into the decision they avoided for weeks. Kenny Pickett stepping in against Philadelphia feels symbolic in a way only football can deliver. The same stadium, the same opponent, the same stage where his last meaningful snap helped seal a Super Bowl victory earlier this year. Now he returns, not as a footnote, but as the focal point. This is not a meaningless appearance. This is a test, a measuring stick, a moment that could reshape the conversation around the Raiders' quarterback room entirely. The frustration for many fans has never been about hating Geno Smith as a player. It has been about watching something clearly broken and being told to pretend it was fine. Chip Kelly's play calling never synced with Geno's strengths. The offensive line struggled to protect consistently. The run game never found its footing. Everything felt disconnected. And through it all, Pickett sat on the bench, a Super Bowl-caliber quarterback acquired for a reason, waiting for an opportunity that never came. It felt like stubbornness, like fear of controversy, like leadership protecting itself instead of the team. That hesitation only made the moment Kenny Pickett finally touched the field last week feel more important. Against Denver, he didn't look overwhelmed. He didn't look rushed. He looked composed. 8 completions on 11 attempts. Nearly 100 yards. A beautiful touchdown throw that reminded everyone what clean quarterback play looks like. He even guided the offense into position for a game-tying field goal. That wasn't accidental. That was preparation meeting opportunity. And now the stakes rise dramatically. Philadelphia is not Denver. This is a reigning Super Bowl powerhouse with elite talent across the field. But that is exactly why this start matters. It strips away excuses. If Pickett can command the offense, protect the football, and keep the Raiders competitive in this environment, it changes everything. Not just for this season, but for how the franchise views its future. And here is where the internal conflict begins. Raider Nation has been here before. This team has a history of winning just enough games at the wrong time. Games that feel good in the moment but cost everything in April. The fear is real. What if Pickett injects energy into this offense? What if the Raiders suddenly look functional? What if they beat teams they are supposed to lose to? That could push them out of prime draft position yet again. And the scars of missed opportunities linger. The quarterbacks who could have been. The futures that slipped away. This draft class represents hope. A reset button. A chance to finally secure the long-term answer under center. That is why the timing feels cruel. Because football players do not tank. Coaches do not tank. And quarterbacks given a rare opportunity do not play to lose. Pickett is playing for his career. For his place in the league. For his next contract. And that means he is going to fight for every yard, every first down, every win. That is what makes this situation so volatile. On one hand, fans desperately want to see competence. They want an offense that can sustain drives, convert in the red zone, protect the football, look professional. On the other hand, they know that short-term competence could sabotage long-term salvation. It is the eternal conflict of rebuilding franchises. Winning feels good. Losing feels strategic. And both hurt in different ways. Pete Carroll's role in all of this only adds to the tension. His stubbornness this season has been impossible to ignore. Favorites were played. Young talent sat. Opportunities were delayed. And now, it feels less like a bold coaching decision and more like a forced move due to injury. But Raider Nation is not picky anymore. They will take progress however it comes. If that means Pickett finally getting his shot because Geno cannot go, so be it. Pickett himself understands the weight of this moment. He has spoken about opportunity being all you can ask for in this league. This is more than an opportunity. This is an audition on one of the biggest stages in football, against one of the league's best teams, in front of a hostile crowd that knows him well. If there is pressure, he welcomes it. If there are expectations, he embraces them. The supporting cast matters, too. Aidan O'Connell waiting in the wings. Caleb Rogers finally earning a start after proving himself when given the chance. Colton Miller returning to practice, a massive boost if he plays, but also a reminder of the long-term picture. Nothing about this roster should be rushed. Nothing about this season should jeopardize next year. And yet football does not pause for future plans. That is why this game feels like a crossroads. Not just for the quarterback room, but for the identity of the franchise. Are the Raiders chasing pride, or are they building patience? Are they searching for short-term validation, or long-term stability? There is no clean answer. Only consequences. Kenny Pickett taking the first snap against the Eagles represents a shift. A new energy. A glimpse into a possible alternative reality. Whether that reality lasts 1 week or becomes something more will be decided on the field. Every throw will be analyzed. Every decision scrutinized. Every drive weighed against the future. Raider Nation has waited a long time for clarity. This may not provide all the answers, but it finally moves the story forward. And sometimes, that is all fans really want. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more Raiders coverage. And let me know your thoughts. Do you want the Raiders to fight and win games down the stretch with Kenny Pickett, or do you want them to lose out and secure that top